There's this girl in my school. She is also on my bus. I look at her every morning and afternoon. Every time I look at her, I acknowledge her. I tell myself that she is pretty hot and gorgeous, and I try to go up to her. But I get so fucking nervous, I can't go up to her. I can't even tell myself before I go to school that I'm going to speak to her and talk to some other girls for practice. And I get hyped in confidence, but when I'm in school, all of it goes away and I start to get nervous and I can't approach her. This happens with every girl. Yesterday in my study skill class, I was about to study and there was this pretty girl right next to me and I needed a pen. So I was going to ask her, and bro, my heart started pounding fast and I got so fucking nervous. I didn't even know why I was just going to ask her for a pen. So I did, but it took a lot of courage. When I asked her, all she said was yes, and it was so simple. I got nervous for this shit, I told myself. Every day I try and talk to 3 new girls, but I just make excuses and I can't seem to approach any of them. Help me. Currently I am fapping and I do have a shit diet, but I'm trying to fix it. I also need advice on that. Hope you have a good day. First of all, thank you for asking this question. And for everyone else who's watching this, make sure you scroll down right now, go click on the subscribe button for this channel, because when you subscribe, this channel gets bigger, which means that more young guys find self-improvements, which means more potential friends for you. So scroll down and go click subscribe right now. Let's see what the comments say, and then I'll give some advice. Stefan said, first of all, bro, fix your typing, have higher standards for yourself. Imagine a girl seeing the way you are typing without any commas or punctuation. She will lose respect for you. You're a man after all. Yeah, he's absolutely right. I can't help but to think that you're like, kind of like a stupid kid. That's my impression of you, not even from what you said, but just how you typed. The fact that, like, why is there like a colon there? Why aren't you capitalizing your eyes? Why is there like no breaks? This could be 2 different paragraphs, for example. Like, it's very hard to respect a man who doesn't communicate properly. And if he's not spelling correctly, if he's not punctuating, if he's not adding like paragraphs, it just makes you look like a low quality person. Second of all, take a deep breath into your balls now. Do that every single time you feel anxious around a girl. Become mindful and girls will love that. Rephrase your view on women. You put the girl you see on the bus on a pedestal. Why do you shoot yourself in the foot by telling yourself she's gorgeous? You are literally making it harder for yourself, raising the stakes. How would you act when you see a 4 out of 10? Totally different compared to seeing a 9 out of 10, right? Act like you would with a 4 out of 10 near the 9 out of 10. Now keep doing it, bro. You're already making progress by the looks of it. Keep talking to girls, keep improving yourself, and train it like a skill. The more you do it, the easier it'll be. So I totally agree with this. Take a deep breath. Awesome. Rephrase your view. This can definitely work. You can definitely like look at a girl and then kind of think, oh yeah, like, yeah, she's actually not even that hot. But I don't think you're shooting yourself in the foot by telling yourself that a girl is gorgeous. Like, I know that can add a lot of pressure, but I think that's really wholesome. I think you can, in your mind, be next to a girl and think to yourself, wow, that girl is fit, that girl's beautiful. And I don't think that's really a problem. I think the problem is you've just added too much difficulty in the task that you're trying to do, because you've just said, okay, every day I try and talk to 3 new girls, but I make excuses and I can't seem to approach any of them. This is similar to, for example, the skinny kid who says, every day I try and bench press 140 kg, but I can't do it. What would you say to that skinny kid? Lower the weight, asshole. Why are you trying to like PR with a weight that's far too heavy for you? This is for most young men. Trying to go and speak to a girl, especially in school when everyone else can see, is like a weight that's too heavy. It's just simply too heavy. So what do you do if there's a weight that's too heavy that you want to lift? Well, you progressively overload to it. Maybe you set the goal to just talk to 1 new girl. Maybe you set the goal to talk to 1 girl who you speak to somewhat often. Maybe it's even a teacher. Maybe you don't even think about girls right now because, quite frankly, you're probably like socially autistic anyway, and you're probably like, no offense, like kind of like a modern day loser. Maybe you just need to learn how to speak to human beings. Maybe you start off with speaking to old people. Maybe you start off with speaking to like someone on the way to school. Maybe the bus driver. Maybe you start off by speaking to guys that you already know. Because think about how different it is to be in that socially isolated mindset when you haven't spoken to anyone. You get to school and there's the girl that you want to speak to and you're constantly overthinking about it. Think about how difficult it is to speak to her then compared to the day where you go in and you speak to one friend and you hype up and you fist bump him and you do, you like laugh and tell jokes. Then you see another friend and suddenly there's like 3 or 4 of you, like literally like a group of guys, a group of friends on the bus. It's like the most fun bus trip you've had so far to school. You're in the middle of this like social like circle. You're feeling good, telling jokes, laughing, whatever, roasting each other, playing around, goofing around, wrestling and shit. And then you get into school, you still carry that same energy. You're there laughing with your friends and the girls are looking over at you because when someone's having fun, girls will always notice. Girls just want to have fun. Then imagine how easy it is when you're in the middle of like telling a joke and everyone's laughing, like your friends are laughing, for you to turn to the girl and then say something. Suddenly that isn't like a cold approach anymore. That's just you just kind of talking because you were already socially lubricated. You're trying to hit a PR without even warming up. This is most men's problem, is that they try and jump straight to attracting women when they haven't even done like the prerequisites first. Like you said, you're still fapping, you've got a shit diet. You're working on that, which is awesome. I think most guys struggle with girls because their social life with male friends is trash. You need to have like a good social life. You need to be speaking to guys, you need to be laughing, joking, whatever, and then bring women into that fun. David said, you might have expected it, but honestly, just do it. If you overthink like that all the time, it's never going to happen. You're so scared of being alone. Why not bring your buddy or just a big friend group if you can? This helped me with my lack of confidence. Throw some jokes around so it's funny and she notices you. Even if she doesn't see you, you're just going to come across as a creep. Stefan is right. Exactly. Having a friend or a group near you makes it super easy. After you approach the girl, you have something to laugh about with your boys. I'm always twice as confident when I'm with my friend at the mall. There's just something about brotherhood, 100%. Yeah, that's what I'd recommend. But, the reason why I chose this question for today is because it really reminded me of my younger self. And I had the exact same problems. I was so shy next to girls. And what I will say is if you're asking questions like this and you're trying to figure this out, you're on a fantastic path. Because whilst it's tricky right now, the fact that you've admitted it, the fact that you can see that this is a problem that you want to improve on, you are so much ahead of the guys who don't even acknowledge that this is like an area of improvements. So when I was 15, 16, 17, that's when I first started to like really read posts and watch videos about how to date, how to talk to girls. And then quickly, within just a few years, it stopped being a problem at all. In fact, my problem became that I was getting too many girls and I was basically being too much of a degenerate. I was literally like, my problem a few years after this problem was that I was having too much sex. Like, think about how crazy that is, like a 0 to 1. So if you're experiencing this and you're young, you absolutely have like a lot of hope to go and become like a good man who can speak to girls, who can attract like this beautiful feminine woman, this future wife. You're on a fantastic path if you're asking these kinds of questions in an online men's community, because there's many guys out there right now that are struggling with girls but never admit it, and so they just come home, they fap, and then they just kind of like blame it on the girl for some reason, but you're blaming it on yourself. You're asking for advice, so that's so good for you. Any other tips that I can give you? Obviously, just, stay on your self-improvement. Don't fap. Do the diet stuff. You know that. That's simple enough. I would say to just change your priorities. I'd say your priority to begin with should be having a vibrant, laughing, funny social life first, and then the girls come naturally. Like I'm telling you right now, it is so easy to attract girls when you're like the guy who's on self-improvement, who's on the Adonis protocol, who's working hard, but also you're in the middle of like a male friendship group and you're not just friends with total retard losers, but you're actually friends with like some other attractive guys. The amount of like looks that I get, like if I'm in a restaurant with a group of my friends, that is always so different than if I'm by myself. Like if I'm by myself, I always get like a slight thought of feeling almost like a weirdo in some ways. Like sometimes, not always, especially if I'm trying to be like social there, or trying to speak to girls or whatever, right? But when those moments when I'm by, and not by myself, but I'm with a male group of friends, it's like I just notice everyone's body language. Like you take up space, you're literally taking up like 2 different chairs because you've got your arm around like this other one here. You're loud, you're confident, you're holding eye contact. I've noticed that my voice deepens when I speak to like the female waitress and everything. And I've noticed that waitresses that previously gave me like no attention, when I'm with my male group of friends, suddenly it's like I can see the attraction in them. They talk to me more. They ask me more private questions. They say like goodbye to me as they finish their shift today. So it makes it so much easier because you just you come across in a way more powerful and social way. Not because no, because you've changed, because you feel more comfortable, because you feel more like powerful and integrated and accepted. So instead of thinking the problem is I can't talk to this girl, think to yourself that this is just a symptom. The root cause, the real problem is not that you can't talk to this girl. The real problem is just that you struggle to talk to most people in general. Like if you're being honest, for the guy who's wrote this, Ilanio, and for anyone else who's experiencing this problem, if you're honest, let's be totally honest. It's not that you just struggle to speak to girls. You struggle to speak to completely new people as well. You might every now and then speak to like one guy per week who's new, but that's still like quite low for the amount of options you get, right? When you can speak to 30 guys a week, new guys you've never spoke to before, at that point, adding in a new girl you've never spoke to is easy. Think about it in that way. If your goal is to speak to one new girl a day, that's really hard. But if your goal is to speak to like 5 new guys a day, that's a lot easier. And it's, still challenging, but it's a lot easier. And then if you like mix that in with some girls, it becomes so easy because it stops being about like needing to cold approach and needing to speak to this girl, but rather just like speaking to another person. So I always find it hard. Like if I go into the gym and I'm in this like solo mode, grind mode, where like Sigma male shit where my earphones are on, and I'm just trying to do the workout and I'm not even looking at anyone. That's so then harder for me to then speak to anyone, male or female. But if I come in this more social, like worldly feeling where I'm in the world and I've just said hello, like I've said an extra sentence to like, let's say the bus driver. I've said an extra sentence to the waitress or the receptionist outside of the gym. I've said an extra sentence to like one guy as I walked up and, I know him from somewhere else or something. Then I see someone else and I'm a little bit loud, like someone across the gym I recognize. So I put my hand up like this. If you do these small social lubrication steps, like these small warm-up steps, then to speak to a completely new person, some attractive girl, becomes a lot easier. Just a few days ago, like I realized just how simple it was that after I finish in the gym, I go to the sauna. But I've always had this bad habit where I'll take my phone in there and I'll just do work stuff in the sauna. And I really enjoy it. So I'll take my phone and I'll start replying to like messages and my team and everything. But I said to myself, like, no, I'm going to be social in there. So I took my phone up because I still needed it for some messages. But I didn't bring it inside of the sauna. I just put it on the floor outside of the sauna. I go in with the intention I'm going to speak to people. So the moment I walk in, there's a guy who I've spoke to a bunch of times. So I speak to him a little bit, but we're joking, whatever. Asked him, like, how he is, how his girl is, how his like restaurant is, because he owns a restaurant. And then there's a guy next to me that I've never seen before. So I looked at him and I was like, how was your workout today, bro? That's all it took. And like, that's, when you think about it, that's such a simple question that you could ask on any day, even on a bad day, even on like a social autist, like Sigma male day. But often you don't ask that kind of question of like, how was your workout today? To people in the bus, like, oh, like what class have you got today? What did you do yesterday? What did you do over the weekend? It's such a simple question, but sometimes you feel stuck to ask a question like that because you need a little bit of that warm up. You need a little bit of that intention, and you've got to start off with someone easier. Asking like a cute girl what she's done on the weekend can feel a little bit tricky. Asking some guy that you already know is easier. So you ask him, well, what did you do on the weekend? And he says, oh yeah, not much. He asks you, okay, yeah, whatever, I did this. Then turn to the girl next to you, what did you do on the weekend? Invite her into it as if like you're asking everyone, but as if like we are asking everyone. It's as if you're bringing her into the social life, into the fun. You can literally have people like with their headphones on, all of this bullshit, and they will absolutely love it if you ask them some kind of wholesome question, especially if you're already in a friendship group right now, because people are fucking lonely. And so if you can be the person who invites someone else into this social feeling, you will do them a great, great service. You'll be giving them a gift of integrating into the tribe. So start with guys first, ask them an easy question, then look over to the girl and word your question in a way as if we are asking her, what did you do on the weekend? And what did you do, Sarah? What did you do on the weekend? Because the guy next to you who you've just asked this question, he'll be looking as well. And suddenly it feels like you're the social guy who's next to like a group of his friends, randomly just speaking to the girl next to you. You want to, for moments like this, you want to be more like a simpleton. Like in normal life, you want to be more of like an intellectual, educated guy. When it comes to social life, especially with girls, you want to be a bit more of a simpleton when it comes to the approach. You want to have like a very like almost like, it's hard to explain, but you want to almost be like slightly like so retarded that it doesn't feel hard for you to speak to people. Basically, you're too intellectual. You've got too much of a big brain because you're thinking about what's going to happen. And I can't approach, I can't do this. Whereas there's like some actual like idiot kid who comes in to the girl that you want and he asks her, like, you know, he just sees her every morning and he goes, how are we? He just, you know, he says like, good morning. He just says some shit like that. He's the one who ends up deep throating her because you were too fucking like scared to say anything with your intellectual big brain. It's always like that popular, like brain dead Chad who's so stupid that he doesn't realize he's kind of breaking social norms by speaking like this. He's the one who ends up getting the girl because he just tried, because he was the first guy who actually spoke to her for so long. So be that guy. Sometimes I find myself like, I find it much easier in a weird way to almost like dumb myself down and to almost play like a character who's like 25% more stupid than I actually am, maybe even 50% more stupid, to start the conversation with someone. And then sometimes the conversation, I realize like when I ask them questions, it goes to somewhere educated and intellectual. And that's when like my real self shines. You know, I talk about the books that I've read, whatever. But I find that it's a lot easier to start a conversation with people if you stop this like intellectual big brain thinking. Stop the thinking and just say like what like some disabled kid would say. He'd literally look at someone and go like, good morning. You can say that. You can literally say that, and it's not actually like weird. Like it's different. People, you know, not everyone says good morning to each other. Think about how autistic everyone is in school, where you walk in and basically no student walks in and says hello to everyone. They walk in kind of silently and then go like randomly sit next to the chairs. Whereas like the one confident kid will walk in and he'll hold almost everyone's eye contact and he says like good morning. You know, like one kid will, like popular kid will walk in and almost loudly shout like, how are we today? Something like that. Like, be more of that guy. That's like the guy who's the life of the party. That's the guy who's hyping everyone up. It reminds me of my friend Levi in university. Me and him are about to get onto a bus full of cheerleaders, and our plan is to get our dick sucked on this massive like road trip with these cheerleaders. And I'm like, you know, overthinking it. What am I going to say? I'm more of this like deep intellectual type of conversationalist. And he comes in, they're all sat at the back, and I'm expecting to like, you know, walk onto this coach, like this bus, and just kind of like take my seat and then just, you know, like try and like figure out ways to speak to them. As soon as he comes in and they kind of look towards us, he looks to them. He just goes, whoa, cheerleaders. And they all start like screaming, like, whoa. They start clapping and shit. I was like you want to be that guy who can just randomly say something like that rather than the fucking intellectual like I was, like mouth breathing, like preparing to sit down for the 8-hour coach and to just overthink about what to say and when to say it to them. Because that kind of guy, like you don't get as good results as if you can just be a bit more of this louder social kind of guy. Imagine the next day you go onto the bus, or from now on, you start to fist bump a couple of guys. You start to fist bump every person you walk past, almost like it's a joke to you to see how people would respond. It's actually kind of interesting for you to see how people will respond to you. You create like a fucking secret handshake with everyone. Yeah, of course, some people will find it cringe, but other people will love it. And imagine if you have a secret handshake or you just fist bump everyone, like 5 people, 10 people, 15 people every time you get onto the bus, and you're just known as the kid who fucking fist bumps everyone. And there's always a few girls who don't do it, and it makes you laugh just because like you can tell that they're socially awkward. There's always like the weird kid who doesn't do it, but you don't laugh at him because he might shoot up the place. You keep going through and it's like you're known as this guy who's just happy every morning, high-fiving everyone, fist bumping everyone. And then imagine it's like you fist bump the girl, she kind of looks at you a bit weird as she does it, and you ask her, what did you do on the weekend? Oh, is there anyone sitting here? I want to sit next to you. You need something to lubricate yourself up to this PR that you're trying to hit. The weight is just too heavy right now. So think of some strategies, think of some tactics that you can do that will warm you up, that will increase your skills. And I think speaking to guys and fist bump everyone will do that. For everyone else, the top link in the description of this video is to Adonis Gang. It's my free online community. It has a free entire course on there called the Adonis Protocol, and that's changing lives. It's making young men more confident. By the time you see this video, we'll probably be above 60,000 members in here as well. So make sure you go and join. Literally, there's hundreds, even more than a few thousand people who join every single day. This is the biggest self-improvement community out there for men ever. And if you come and join, you get access to this entire free course where I've gave you the Adonis protocol, basically how to like create your new life of this like masculine life of adventure, of progress, of fitness and business and everything that you want. So come and click on the top link in the description right now. It's time to man up and do the work. Mwah.